Am I audible?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, the call is being recorded now. All right, so I said we're working on data entry and formatting, as well as working with tables. But we'll also learn cell referencing. Okay, so what do you guys understand by data type in Excel? Anybody can answer.
Sorry, the question again.
Data types.
I think last time you told us that there are two data types now, the qualitative and the quantitative data. Or is it the primary and secondary? I don't know.
So what I told you guys, when you are categorizing data, you can categorize data based on their types and based on their structure. So that one is types of data. This one now is data types. They're different. Anybody? Yeah. Abo, you can answer.
Good evening, everyone. I think we have the clean data, the dirty data, something like that. I don't know.
Okay. He tried, but that's not what I'm talking about. All right. So basically, data types is exact form in which the data you're working with is in. You understand? Like we have numbers, we have text, which we also call string. We have date and time. We have Boolean, error data types. They are not types of data. When I say type of data is more generalized. So when I'm talking about data types, I'm just referring to your numbers, right? Your text. You understand? That's A to Z, as well as date and time. Those are types of data that we have in Excel. Different data analysis to give you different types of data. Like we're working with other packages now, you might be hearing stuff like float, you might be hearing stuff like variable data and the rest. We're working with SQL and the rest. But for Excel, majorly, we have text, which is a regular A to Z. All right, we have numbers, which includes your whole numbers, your decimal numbers. Then we have date and we have time. So those we also have Boolean, which is true or false. Right. So those are the kind of data you enter into the cells on your sheets. All right. So the first thing we are going to learn today is enter data into our cells. So there are two ways of doing it. You can either just come to the cell, all right, and then start writing. Like you just click once, you select the cell, and then you start writing what you want, all right? Or can you still see my screen?
No,
We can't see you. We can't see your screen.
no.
No. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
No, ma, we can't see your screen.
Just give me a moment. Can you see it now?
No, but it has not come up.
No.
No. No.
Can't hear anything.
I have a question. I think we should now. Stop now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying ways of entering data. So you can just go there, you just click on the cell and then you enter the data. Then if you want to edit it, you can decide to go to your cell, all right? You double click and you edit. You change the content of the cell, whatever it is you want. Or you can simply go, let's say the cell already has something written there. If you want to edit it, you can just click on it once.
We still can't see your screen.
Are you sure? Is that for everyone? Hello?
I can see
Hello,
your
we can see
screen,
your
ma.
screen. We can see your screen.
Your screen is on now.
Can't see I can't see your screen.
Some people are saying,
Maybe you need to.
so I think maybe you need to restart your phone or just leave the call and join back again. It should work. All right. So I said, if you want to edit, another way you can come to you can edit the content of a cell is just click on it once and then you select F2. So immediately you click on F2 to take you into the cell, and then it will give you options to edit or do whatever you want to do. So what we are going to start with now is we're going to create like a small data set. All right. We're going to create a small data set for let's say a supermarket. All right. So I'll show you the autofill function in Excel using that data set. But let me just show you first with numbers. So one thing you can do with Excel is you can fill in multiple rows without having to. Instead of you coming to write one here, instead of you coming to write something individually, you can actually just copy it in bulk. You understand? And how do you? I'm going to zoom in now so you guys can see my screen clearly. So how do you do this now? All right. If you notice, immediately my cursor enters this cell that has an item here, that has a data here, which is the number. The cursor was white. So when it was moving like this, the cursor was white. All right. When it's in the cell, but immediately it goes to the edge like this, it turns black. So when you see that the cursor has turned black, you can now hold it, that you double click, and then you move down. So immediately you move down, it will autofill all the cells below for you. You understand? So instead of you coming to write one again, or coming to write whatever it is you want to write. If you want something that will be repeated, you can just move your cursor to the middle of the cell. All right, like I said, let's say what I wanted to duplicate now was probably 20 now. All right, so I'll move my cursor there and I'll go to the edge. So immediately it turns black, I will just drag it. And once I drag it, it will autofill it. All right, so it will copy it. So instead of me going to copy, going to the particular cell like this, then right clicking. If you right click on the cell normally, or you just do your Control C, you can copy the content of that cell, and then you go to another cell and you do your Control V. So instead of doing all those, which is stressful and time consuming, you can just drag it. All right. So what if you have a particular pattern you want to follow? Let's say you don't want it to be repeated, you don't want a duplicate, but you want it to follow a pattern. Maybe you want it to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest. You want the difference between each number to be 1. You want the difference between each number to be 1. Please, you all should turn off your videos. Turn off your videos. Turn off your videos, please. Thank you. So you want the difference between, you have a specific number that will be the difference between each number on your row. So let's say, for example, I want to do something like 1. You want a continuous number. You want like 1 to 10 to be written on that column. Right, so we'll put 1 there, and then we'll put 2. All right, so what we'll do now is we'll place our cursor on 1, then we'll drag it to 2. Take note, I didn't come to the edge, I stayed in the middle. All right, so you drag it to 2. So immediately you see that it has highlighted 1 and 2 for you like this. That's when you will now go to the ending here. Excel will recognize the pattern, which is that the difference between 1 and 2 is just 1. Excel will recognize the pattern, and then you can go to the edge here. So immediately your cursor turns black, you just drag it. So after you drag it, it will autofill it for you. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 10. Same way, if maybe the number you had was probably 20 and 40, right? So if you come to the 20 here, while in the middle, drag it to 40, all right? Then you go to the edge here. You can see it turned black again, and then you drag it as well. So you can see it auto-fills it for you. 20, 40, 60. Because you know that the difference between 20 and 40 is 20. So it will just follow it downward. You understand? So if you decide you don't want to use this format, you can also use the sequence function. We've not got to functions, but I believe when we get to functions, you guys will have a better understanding of how you use functions. But I will just use it to explain this here. All right. So I have hands up. What's the question?
Yeah, please, can you repeat this sequence part? Like, because I'm practicing alongside as you're doing it, but
Okay.
it's not coming down in sequence. It's still taking the top figure down.
Okay, this is what I did. All right. So I placed, let me use 10 now. So I'm writing 10 here. All
Yeah.
right. Then put 20 here. Let me use 15. 15. All right. So I'll click on 10. Then while it's still white, my cursor is white and in the middle. So I will drag it to 15. I'll leave it this way first. You understand? So you can see that it has highlighted this. You can see the border around it now. Meaning it has
Yeah.
highlighted 15. Then you go to the edge here. Immediately you go to the edge, the cursor will turn black, meaning it has recognized a sequence. All right. Then you will drag it down.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
So we have done that. So if maybe we didn't want to, if you don't want to, you can also use the sequence function. Sequence is a function in Excel. All right. So just select. You just click equal to. All right. So when you click equal to, you write sequence. You can see it has told you what. Can you guys see the option? Okay. I think I need to share my whole screen. I can see what it is. Hold on, let me share my whole screen. Coming. All right. So you can see my screen, right?
We can't see your skin. I can't see it.
Yes, you can see.
We can see
Can
it.
see.
Immediately I started typing. All right, you can see it brought the option out, meaning it knows that there's a function named sequence in Excel. And you can see what the sequence does. It returns a sequence of numbers. All right. So immediately I select sequence, I'll just come here. As I've seen sequence, I'll just click on it. So after clicking on it, the first everyone. So the first thing to ask you is the rows. So how many what is the number of rows you want the sequence to fill? All right, so I want it to fill 10 rows. So I'll write 10 there. All right, so it's going to ask me what's the number of columns you want this sequence to fill. I want it to fill 1 column, and then I'll put 1 there. Then I'll put my comma. So it's asking me for step. So for start. All right, so start is where do you want the sequence to start counting from? All right, I want you to start counting from 20. And I'll put my comma. I don't know if you guys can see what is going on here. For each comma, being highlighted here, what is being bold here changes. You understand? So after I start, I'll put my comma again. It's asking me now for my step, meaning how many steps? What do you want to be the difference between each number in the sequence? So let's say I want the difference between the numbers to be 10, for example, and then I'll close my bracket and I'll click enter. You can see it also gave me a sequence. Can you see it? This is the sequence. So if maybe I wanted it to be maybe 1, 2, 3 to 10, I can still do the same thing. I'll just go there. I'll write equal to sequence. So that's me for number of rows. I'll put 10 rows. Number of columns, I want it to fill 1 column. The start, I want it to be 1. Then the step, I also want it to be 1. And then enter it. Okay, this percentage. Because the data format here. All right, so you can see it now. If you give me a sequence, so assuming, I'm going to cancel everything here. Assuming now I wanted it to fill several columns. All right, I want it to fill several columns. To come here now, we'll put equal to sequence. Equal to sequence. All right, so that's me for the number of rows now. I can say I want it to be 10 rows. It's asking for the number of columns. I can say I want it to enter 4 columns. All right. I'll put my comma there. So it's asking me for my start. And my start, now let's say I want my start to be 10. It's asking me for my step. Let's say I want my step to be 5. And then I'll close my bracket. And I'll put equal to there. So you can see the way it's populating this range of cells. This 4,000 that is here, it's because that particular cell was already configured. This particular cell, that's why it's showing as percentage. So let me change it. So I think this is quite clear. All right. So if maybe this is where the data type comes into play. If maybe you don't want your data to be in whole numbers like this, or maybe it's in decimal, you want to change it to percentage. Like for example, you have the 0.05. You understand? You want it to be a percent. You just click on your 0.05. All right, you go to this place in the home tab where you have number here. This number group gives you options to make as many edits as you want for your numbers. All right, here you can increase the number of decimal places. You can increase the number of decimal places like this. You can also reduce the number of decimal places like this. You can change it to percentage. You can see immediately I changed it to percent. You can see the 0.05 changed to percent. You understand? So let me undo it. So if maybe I want to also change it to a currency now, for example, I have this 100 now. I want to. It's the format now is just general. General means it's just any number format. You understand? So if maybe I want to change it to an accounting figure now, for example, I want it to have a dollar sign or naira sign. I'll just click on that. You can see, and it changed it from 100 to $100. So if I want to change this $100 now to 100 naira, maybe I want to change the currency. I'll just come here. You can see I will have dollar here. I'll click on it down. All right. Then I'll go to more accounting format, and I will click on that. So here you see this. You can see now these are all the ways you can format, all the formats you can give your numbers in Excel. All right, so I can come here and say I don't want the symbol to be dollar. I want to change to naira. So I'll come to this where we have symbol, and I'll look for naira. Okay, so I'll look for naira. If I want the decimal place to also include, I can still increase it if I want. So I'll select OK, and you can see I've successfully changed it to naira. All right. Then when it comes to let's create a table first and format the table. Then I'll show you guys ways to copy data in Excel. Copying and pasting in Excel. So let me just do this. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a table or like a range of cells containing figures of sales from a particular supermarket, for example. So let's call this supermarket Jane's Supermarket. Okay, I have questions. Amina, ask your question. Amina Salawi, ask your question. Okay, Abu Sophia, ask your question. Kingsley, ask your question. Please, if you don't ask questions.
Ma, please, good evening, ma. Please, while you were doing that sequence, I was doing it also. But when I put the equals to and the sequence, it was not showing me the sequence where to. So showing me others, but sequence was not among the options.
Same for me.
Hello, can you hear me, ma? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me, ma?
I can hear you.
Okay. So when I was there to, I put the equals to, then the sequence. The sequence was showing me different options. So the sequence was not among them.
What?
Okay, let me. The option is showing me search, search, second, and seriation. That's the options.
Guys, when you typed this was what it was giving you, or some of the things it was giving you was not there, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is what it gave you.
These are the things. Yes, these are the things it was showing me.
Q.
I pressed yes. I did Q. SQ2. SEQ.
So it's your
And nothing is showing anymore. No other. All the options are no more showing.
version. The version.
Oh.
You need to.
Oh.
Okay, so for example, I want to create like a data set for a supermarket, and we're calling supermarket Jane's Supermarket. Jane supermarket now, for example. All right. So let's say this her supermarket now. Let's say she sells, let's say items here. Items. Let's say she sells beans. She sells beans. She sells okay. Yeah, I need to, you see that accounting I changed it to the whole this method. I need to just clear everything from here so I can have a fresh cell. All right, so if you are trying to delete something from Excel, from your sheet, and it's not working, maybe you are clicking on delete on your keyboard and it's not working. All right, you just go to this place here, editing, the editing group in the home tab. Then you see this eraser that you have there. This eraser, you just click on it, clear, and you decide on what you want to clear. If it's the format you want to clear, maybe you have colored the cell and the rest, you can clear only the format. If it's the content, you can clear it, or you can clear all like I did now. So the way I cleared all, even if there's a cell here that was formatted as percentage or accounting, it will be deleted. It will be there. It will just be there as general. All right, so I said we're working with items, and we have let's say beans, we have rice, we have yam, and we have plantain. All right, so these are the items that Jane sells in her supermarket. All right, so Excel also recognizes days of the week. Right, so if you come here now, all right, if you come here and you write Monday, all right, Monday like this, you don't need to continue and start writing Tuesday. You can just go down to that black dot I told you at the edge. So immediately your cursor turns black, you just drag it. And you can see it has added Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for me. So I don't need to add more. If you also just want it to be in an abbreviation, it still recognizes it as an abbreviation. So if I come in and I put MON there, which stands for Monday, I'll just take my cursor to that black dot there and I'll drag it. So you can see I calculated here as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, and this place now is Jane's. Is Jane's supermarket. Jane's supermarket. All right, so we can start filling in. We can start filling in these cells now. All right, so we can say we want to enter here maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000. Let's say the sales she makes on each day is between the range of 1,000 to 3,000. All right, so maybe here is like 1,500. Then here can be like maybe 1,200. So if maybe, for example, we don't want, like, we just want, we're working with random numbers now, so it's not like these are exact figures. That if we don't want to start writing this normal, or we don't want to just drag it or use a sequence, we can actually use a sequence to fill this. You understand? So we can use that sequence format and be like, is equal to, let's say we're working with sequence. All right, so we said 1,000. Okay, it's asking for number of rows. So the number of rows now is 4, because we have beans, rice, yam, and plantain. So number of rows here is 4. Number of columns wanted to fill is 5. That is Monday to Friday. So that is 5 columns. So we put our 5 there. So our start now can be, since say between 1,000 to 3,000. So I can say our start now is 1,000. Then our step is 1,000 as well. So there should be a difference of 1,000 between each number. Or let's work with 500. 500. You can see now that's filled it for us. You understand? That's filled it for us. We didn't have to stress ourselves to start filling it individually. So you can see it started like this: 1,000, 15, 2,000, 25, 3,000, 35, 4,000. It was moving row wise. All right. So, but if we don't also want to do it like that, say we wanted just random numbers, right? Let's just go out here. All right. Now place my equal to, and I'll write the function round between, because I want random numbers from the words round. Sometimes if you are just when you are working with functions and you want to do something with Excel, the word itself will just tell you. If you don't even remember the words, what do you want to do? You want to do random. You can just try random. What do you want to do? You want to do some. You want to add. You just go there and click it and it will work. Right, but what we want to do now, we want random numbers between the range of 1,000 and 3,000. So I can come here and select round between. Right, so it's asking me for my bottom number, and the bottom number here is 1,000. Right, so I'll put 1,000. That's me for the top number. The top number is 3,000, and I'll select it. All right, so you can see it has given me 1,590. I didn't ask it for this number. I just put it like that. All right, so I can drag that number. You can see that as I'm dragging it now, the number is changing. Whereas I told you that when you are dragging a single number, like if you're dragging one, you're supposed to duplicate that particular number, right? But the reason why it's not doing that here is because there's a formula. There's a formula in that cell. So instead of it to actually drag the value and duplicate the value, it will duplicate the formula, not the value. You can see what we have here now. This is the value. If you go up and look at our formula bar, this is the formula that is inside this particular cell. So what it is duplicating for me is my formula and not my value. All right, so if I still come in and I want to drag this thing down, you can see it's giving me random number, any number at all, between 1,000 and 3,000. So I can drag it. You get? I can drag it anyhow, and it will give me another number. The only problem is when you work with that particular function, anything you type on Excel, that number will change. If you just do anything, if you just double click anywhere, you can see numbers are changing. They will continue changing like that. That is how it is. So we want to copy this thing now and put it in this our range of cells from Monday to Tuesday, to Friday. But we don't want it to continue changing the way it's changing like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy it. All right. So I'm going to select. I can click on Control and click on Control my keyboard. All right. Then Shift. That's that arrow sign that's on top of Control on your keyboard. I'm holding Shift. Then I'll go to my arrow keys. And while I'm holding Control and Shift, I'll go right. All right. You can see the way it highlighted everything sideways. You understand? From left to right. Then while still holding my Control, my Shift, and my Shift together, I will now click on the down arrow to highlight everything. So now I've highlighted everything like this. If I don't want to do it this way, I can still click on one cell, just drag my cursor while it's in the middle. Remember, while the cursor is white, that was when I dragged it. You understand? I had to highlight everything for me. So immediately it highlights everything for me. I can copy it by using Ctrl+C. Sorry. I can copy it by using Ctrl+C. Copy. If I don't want to use Ctrl+C, I can also see just click on I can right click on my mouse, then I'll scroll up to where I can see copy here, and I'll do it whichever suits you, but Ctrl+C for me is faster. So the earlier you learn how to use shortcuts, the better for you. So I've clicked on Ctrl+C now, and I'm going to go to my Monday, and I'm going to click on Ctrl+V. So immediately I click on Ctrl+V, it pasted it for me. If I don't want to click on Ctrl+V, I can still go to this place here where you have paste, and I will paste it. You understand? But if you notice something now, let's go and click on it. If I click on it, I copied it and pasted it. But if you look at what is showing me on the formula bar, it's showing me the formula. And this thing is changing. Number is continuing. And for everything you do in a set, number will change. You can see, I'm not even touching it. It's just changing on its own. Just changing on its own. It's changing. But the range will be between 1,000 and 3,000. You understand? So I don't want the number to be changing. I don't want this formula to still be inside these cells. All right, so what I will do is I'm going to try copying it again. I will do my Control C. All right, but I won't go there and I won't go here and go and click Control V immediately. All right, I will go to I'll first select the cell, this cell where I want to paste it in. Then I will go to my paste option here. See this arrow here, and I'll click on that arrow. Then I'll go down to paste special. And I'll click on paste special. Immediately I click on paste special, it will give me all the options of what I want to paste. All right, and what I want to paste now, remember, is the value. You can see the options for me to paste. I can decide to paste the formula, which is this. And once I paste the formula, of course, automatically to display the value for me. I can decide to paste the formula, or paste the value, or paste the format. Let's say that place is colored green, it's colored blue. I can also copy and paste it like that. You understand? Paste the format or paste any comment or validation that is on that cell. What we want to paste now is the value. So I'll click on value and I'll click on OK. So it has pasted values for me. So if I go back now and I check it, you can see it now. Can you see? There's no formula again. It's just the value that is showing. That's if I wrote the numbers in there. All right, so let me delete what we have here now. Okay, so this is okay, but this let's call it this record now, this data set now, it's not looking arranged, it's not looking fine. You get? So that is where formatting comes into play. So we can decide to add some colors, change the text style of these numbers, just make it more attractive. You get? So we'll start with the merging. You see the way this Jane supermarket is now, we can make it to be big and bold. You understand? To take more space here. So what we'll do is you just go to this cell here, this first cell here, and then you drag it. You get? So after dragging it now, I'm going to merge and center. And I'll click on merge and center. So you can see now, everything now is now together as if it's one. Do you get? Everything here now is now one. But this J now is in the bottom. I don't want it to be in the bottom, I want it to be at the middle. You get? So I can come here now to this place, this alignment group here, and I'll click on this one and to move it to the center. If I want to be at the top of this cell now, this merged cell, I can come here now and I'll click top. If I want to be at the left, I'll come here, I'll put top left. You understand? If I want to be at the right, same thing. Wherever I want it to be, I can do that here. But I want it to be in the center and I want it to be at the middle. Yes, so that's what I've done here, which is good. Right, so I can also say I want Jane now. I want Jane's supermarket to be written boldly. I can either go to this place now where we have fonts and I'll click bold here, or I'll simply do my Control B. All right, so I do Control B to make it bold. If I also do it again, Control B, I also click on Control B again, it will remove the boldness there. So I want to make it bold now. All right, so now I want to fill this cell with color. I want to make it colorful. All right, so I want to make it colorful. So what I'll do is while I'm selecting the cell, there are two ways to do this. I'll show you guys the two ways. While I'm selecting the cell, I can go to this place where I have fonts here. All right, then if you look at this part here, you see where you have like a paint bucket. You can see fill color. That is the name of that option there. You can see what it brought out. It says color the background of cells to make them stand out. All right, so I can come here now. The arrow beside that paint bucket, I'll just click on it. So I'll go down. Let's say I want to give it this color. Let's make it orange. Dark orange, for example. So you can see now I've made this cell to be dark orange, right? But while it's dark orange, you can see Jane's supermarket is not clear again. Jane's supermarket is not clear. So we can make Jane's supermarket to be clear. Can change the color of the text, Jane's supermarket. To do that now, I will go to this way where you can see where A is written. Where we have font color, A is written. So I can click on it and then I'll come here and I'll change it to blue, which looks better and clearer. So you can see Jane's supermarket now is standing out. So that is one way. If I didn't want to do it that way, I'm going to undo everything. If I didn't want to do it that way, I can just still select the cell and I will right click on my mouse. Then I'll go to format cells. I'll click on format cells. All right, then I'll come to fonts here. Fonts here. So you choose whichever one is suitable for you. So while I'm in fonts here, I can come here now and I will now decide to the color I want it to be. So I want to change the text color now to blue like we did before. So let's use this blue. This is brighter. So I'll use this blue. All right. Then I want to fill the border. Let's see it. I want to fill the cell. That is the background of the cell now with that orange color. So I'll come to fill here. All right. So I'm going to use this. I think it's orange. I think it's brown. It's brown or orange. So I want to fill with that brown color. And then I will click on the color I want to fill it with. All right, so let's go to the font. So we have font here. Click OK, and the background color as brown, and you can see everything has changed. You understand? So now it's that. So this place now, let's say we want the border lines now between all these numbers here to show. You can highlight everything like this, or you just hold your control, hold your shift, move right, and then you move down. So that way you highlight everything. So when everything is highlighted, I can come and I want to put a border. I want to add a border now to separate everything. So this one now, I will go to this font group now in the home tab. This font group in the home tab. You can see this small box here. But this border box here, I'll just click on the arrow down. All right, then I will choose what kind of border type. I'll choose the border type I want to put in there. So let's say I want to just I just want the borders to be outside and I want them to tick. So I'll click on this tick outside borders and then you can see it. You can see the borders that appeared. Yeah. You understand? So if I still don't want it to be like that, maybe I want there to be a separation now between the numbers inside. While selecting everything, I'll go here, that same border, then I'll come here and I'll put all borders. You can see all borders here, the option. So I'll click on it and you can see it has given everything a separation. You can see the borders are separating everything. All right, so let's say now we want to see format these cells. Let's give the numbers a different color. Let's say we want to format these cells now. Let's just work with the same color. Let's say we want to format these cells now. We want to make them to be sky blue. Just the same process we did here. So I'll go here now to where we have this paint bucket here that is brown. I'll just select down and then I'll pick sky blue. All right, so I've picked sky blue. Then I can change the color of the text. Same way. See where I have my A here. A here. So I'll click on it and then I'll change it to brown like this. Yeah, so let's say it's not so bold. You have to make everything bold. And now it is very clear. All right, since these ones are the title, you can just decide to make these ones darker to just show a slight difference between those ones and the figure. So if you have any question, please you can ask. Kingsley, ask your question. So I want to fill here now. All right, so this is it. We can try to make this James for market slightly bigger than it is, and it's appearing right now. So I'll just go up here. All right, increase font size, and then I'll increase it. And the size of James for market will be bigger. I can also change the style of the way it is looking right now. I can change the style, the font style. So I'll go to this place where you can see Aptos arrow. This place goes to this number here. I'll just go down here. All right. So these are the things. These are the fonts that you can change it to. So I can decide now I want to change it to any font. Any font I want. Any font I want. So the way I'm changing it now, you can see the different fonts that are appearing. Yeah, but they're not nice. So you can look for a nicer one on yours. So let's use this one, Joker Man. And you can see, so this is James Supermarket. So for those of you that like designing, you can also do something like this. Then I can do something similar here as well. I can change it to anything I want, any font I think is nice. You get, so this is it. So I'm changing the days of the week to Christina. Christina is a font star. And you can see it. Wow. It's looking nice, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we successfully designed like a data set for Jane. We've worked on the fonts, the size, and the other things. So for example, now we want to delete a row from this table. All right. So what we need, not a table, this data set rather. If you want to delete a row here, a full row, you can come to the edge here, like the way my cursor is now at number 11, as row 11. So I'll click on it. So when I click on it to highlight the whole, whole row for me. Then I will right click. So after right clicking, I'll go down and I'll click on delete. So you can see Yam is out of it. Same way I can also delete a row, a column. You understand? I can come to this H here. I'll right click on H and I will delete it. And that column is gone. Right, so I use Ctrl Z now to undo what I did. On that way, you can also do this. You can also just select one cell. All right, then you will go to this cells group here and you will come to delete. Then you say delete sheet row and to delete that whole row for you. If you want to delete this whole column too, just click on any cell in the column. You go to delete and then you delete sheet column. And you can see that column is out. So I'm going to bring it back in. If you also want to insert a row or a column, it's the same process. So I can just click on any cell on that particular row. And I'll go to insert sheet row. And you can see inserted a row for me. If I want to insert a column too, it's the same process. So I'll come here and I insert sheet column. And you can see inserted this column for me. You get, so let's undo that. Is there any question? Is there any question? Because I'm
No
having a question.
question. No question.
I'll ask your question. Someone's hand is up. I'll ask your question. Okay, Liberty, ask your question.
Okay, I wanted to understand what you did. The last one you did when you want to add a column or a row. So I didn't get that part. What you did to add that up.
I said if you want a column, for example, like they want to add a okay.
Okay.
My question is it possible? Yes,
It is. I don't know why it's okay. So and now to P, I I can decide just if I don't, I'll just go to the cell. All right, I'll click on the cell. Then I'll go here where we have insert. So I'll select down and then I'll insert. I'll decide on what I want to say. If I want to insert a cell, I can insert it. If I want to insert a column now, I'll just click on insert column. You can see inserted the column for me. Can you see? So let's say I was doing it with this main number. If I want the row here now, I just click on. I'll click on. I'll go to insert, and then you can see it moved row here. Yes,
Okay.
All right. So now I want to go to sheet protection and sheet locking. Or let's do cell referencing. Yes. So what do you
I have a question. Sorry.
ask your question?
Okay, my question is, how can we turn the table, like if we turn it to like a pie chart or a diagram, something like a chart, and if we can get like those shortcuts, like any shortcuts link or something that we can use.
Yes, we can turn it to a pie chart and the rest, but that is not in today's topic. You understand? We are getting there.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So it's the basics you are learning. If I jump there, everything will be scattered. You understand? So I think the next topic people have now is on formulas and probably functions. So from there, you can now start entering visualizations. But now this is what we're doing, which is formatting your data entry and the formatting. Then cell referencing is to make it easier for you to understand instead of going front and back, because we're working with a curriculum. All right, so thank you, Ajala, for your question. So what do you guys understand about cell referencing? Anybody? Nobody knows anything about cell referencing. Okay. So cell referencing is the process of referring to the content of a cell without having to copy it. Do you understand? Like, for example, I want to use the content of Thursday and Friday. You understand? I want to use beans now, the price of beans now, the quantity of beans sold. I don't even know what we call this one. I can call it price now, random number. Let's just say the sales of beans now. All right, it was 1,022 on Thursday. Then Friday was 2,032. Because so let's say I want to use this now. I want to compute this or calculate this. Instead of me going to say this cell is equal to 1,022 plus 1,032, which will give me 3,054. So instead of me going to pick them one after the other or copy them, I can use cell referencing to just do my computation. It's very fast. So how do I do this? I will just go here. I'll click on the cell and I'll put equal to. All right. Then I'll go to Thursday, which is beans on Thursday now. I'll click on it. So I see it has displayed L9 for me. That is why you need to understand how to name your cells. Understand the columns and the rows. Always know that the rows are labeled with numbers and the columns are labeled with alphabets. So you can see L9 now. L9, which is here and here. You understand? So the L is for the column and the 9 is for the row. All right, so exactly, I can come here now and I'll put my plus sign. So I want to add Thursday and Friday. All right, so I'll just come here now and I will select Friday and I'll click equal to. You can see it has given me the sum. So I can also come here now and say this Q, that is this Q9 now, is equal to Q9 is equal to J9, or Q9 is equal to J11. So somebody should tell me the value of J11. If you are following me, I would know. What's the value in J11? Yes, thank you very much.
1315.
1315.
315.
Okay, thank you. So you can see now, immediately I just typed in, I didn't even have to go and click on it. Immediately I just typed in J11. Can you see that the 1315 just got highlighted? So I just select equal to, and you can see 1315 has applied here, appeared here, has appeared here as the value. But remember, there's still a formula behind this value. And you will see that formula in the formula bar. Can you see the formula bar? The formula bar here is showing that this is the formula behind that value. All right, so that is the act of cell referencing. Another thing is, while you are, you know the way I taught you guys how to autofill just now, we get that if you move your cursor to the edge, let's use this one. Let's say is equal to, let's say L9. Okay. So the way we did the one just now, and it duplicated the one as the value. If you apply that same format and there is a formula attached to that cell, and the way you have now this particular cell, now the formula here is L9. You understand? So as far as there's a formula attached to that cell, if you drag it, it will not drag the value, it will drag the formula. You understand? It will duplicate the formula, it will not duplicate the value. So since here now is L9, like this. So if I come here now, where is L9? L9 is Thursday for being. So if I come here now and I drag it down, can you see what happened? What is showing me now is 1022, 1530, 2657, 1264. So this is cell referencing. So cell referencing is the act of using or referring to the item of a cell without copying it. You understand? Using your equal to. And there are basically 4 types of cell referencing. All right. We have the relative referencing, we have the absolute referencing, we have the mixed referencing, and we have the structural referencing. All right. So what I just did right now is the relative referencing. That is because as we're moving down, immediately I dragged it down, the formula, that is the value, was changing. That is the difference between relative and absolute. The value was changing. Let's just go to the definition first, so I'll be able to, you guys will have a better understanding before I start doing the practical. Okay, so we have cell referencing here. All right, so cell referencing is a feature in Excel that allows you to use data from one or more cells in formulas and functions, is what I said before. Types of referencing include relative referencing. So this changes when a formula is copied from one cell to another. You understand? Absolute referencing. This does not change when a formula is copied from one cell to another. It is fixed. We have mixed referencing. It is a combination of absolute and relative referencing. That is, one part of the reference, either the row or column, is fixed, while the other is not. Then we have structural referencing. So this involves inserting a table into the data set and calling the table when necessary. Here, the column required is being called with a square bracket when needed. So that is like the basic definition of the kind of cell referencing we have in Excel. So we have 4: relative, absolute, mixed, and structural. So what we did here now, that you notice that it changed, the value changed, was relative referencing. Because you can see here, remember what we put here was L9, which is 1022. All right, so if I go to the next cell now, can you see it changed to L10? But I didn't tell it to change to L10. So by default, Excel will reference your cells relatively. So if you're moving right, it will move right for you. If you're moving down, to move down for you. So if I come here now and I say, okay, I want to move right. So can you see? It changed it for me. Can you see what is showing me? It's showing me for Friday. So let's say I want to duplicate this whole table now. All right, I'll be doing something like, let me move this away. Or let me just insert cells in here. All right. So let's say I wanted to duplicate this whole table. Now I can come here and do something like this place now is equal to items is H8, right? You can say it's H8 items. So I've done for the top. So I'm going to do relative referencing now. If I move down, you can see it has put rice, beans, rice, yam, and plantain for me. If I see while holding everything like this, while everything is copied like this, I can still go to this lower part. As far as it's black like this, my cursor is black. As I move, it's going to give me the value. It's showing 0 here now because there's nothing there. You can see what it did for me. It's just referenced that whole place for me relatively. You understand? But if maybe I was to do absolute referencing now, for example, if you check our definition, absolute referencing there, it states that the value does not change. You understand? When you move it, the value does not change. So what we did now, let me just do it again. Let's say here now is equal to all right. So what we did here now, we did equal to H8. H8. We moved it that way down and then moved it left. Okay, so we got for Monday. Right, so this now is relative reference. If I wanted to do absolute referencing, if you check, let's check the formulas here first. So you can see this formula now. Items now is H8, beans is H9, rice is H10. All right. So, but if I didn't want it to change the way it is now, I would come here now and I will do something like is equal to. You still have H8 normal, all right, for items, but I don't want it to be. I don't want it to move. I don't want it to be relative. What I will do is I will lock that cell, and I will lock that cell using a dollar sign. Using a dollar sign. All right. Let's do it again. Using a dollar sign. So I'll come here before the H. Remember, the H stands for. So what does the H stand for? Somebody answer my question. Let me know if you guys are following. What does the H stand for?
It stands for column.
The column.
Column.
For column. So immediately, immediately I put the dollar sign, the H has been locked, meaning the column has been, meaning I've locked the column. It's not going to change. If I come here now, before the 8, let me zoom it first so you guys will see what I'm doing. I don't think I can get bigger than this. Okay, you can. It's not working. Okay, so if I come here now before the 8, all right, and I put a dollar sign on it, it means it has locked the row. So this dollar sign is for the H, this dollar sign is for the 8. So after doing this, I'll just click on enter. So it has referenced that cell now as items. You understand? But if I come here now and I move my, so see why is as it's black now, if I come in and I move down, you can see it's not changing again. Everything, all the cells after it, look at them. Look at the formula. As you're looking at the value here, also look at the formula. You can see they didn't change. They remained H8. So that dollar sign means leave it there. Don't change it. You understand? If I come here now to this other one, you can see as I moved from top, this is H8 to the bottom, H9 and H10. But here, it didn't change. If I also decide I want to move it right ways, you understand? If I come here, put my cursor here and it's black, and I do it like this, it will still change. You understand? Because I have done absolute referencing. I've referenced in a way that I don't want it to change at all. So you guys now be wondering when and why do we need this kind of referencing, or what is referencing going to do for you? So I'm going to just give a brief example now, all right, of why referencing is a bit, self-referencing is very important. So let's say, for example, now we want to have a total of, want to sum Thursday and Friday sales together for beans. Thursday and Friday sales together. Because they do relative referencing now. We'll do something like this. Is equal to L9, right? L9 plus M9. And I have my equal to, I have my total here. So that is 3,054. So that is the total. So if I drag this down now, it will total Thursday and Friday for rice for me. To total Thursday and Friday for yam. You understand? It will total Thursday and Friday for plantain. So that's what this one will do. But what if now, and I said, okay, I don't want a total now. I want to increase. I want you to show me the sales for Friday. If you increase it by 100, you understand? If you increase it by 100, and I'll come in and I write 100 here. So this is where the 100 is stated. I want to see the total for Friday after adding 100 to it. Okay, so if I come here now, assuming I also do the referencing now, I want to add, what I want to do now is I want to add 100 to beans Friday. I want to add 100 to rice on Friday. I want to add 100 to yam on Friday, and I want to add 100 to plantain, and I want to use cell referencing to do it. So if I come here now, and I'll write equal to there, and that Friday now is M9, right? M9 plus the 100 now is 09. Look at where 100 is, 09. So put my O there. So I have my 9 sheet has highlighted 100 for me. I'll say equal to. So you can see that it has increased this for me, 2,132. Right? So if I want to drag it now, I want here to be, I want to get 1,145, 1,161, 1,407. I come in and I say I want to drag it. If I drag it down, look at what it's giving me. It's giving me 1,045. It's giving me 1,061, then 1,307. This 100 was added to.
We can't see your screen, ma. We can't see your screen.
Are you serious? Oh.
Yes, we cannot see it again.
It's only you can see your screen. It's only you. Check your network.
We can see the screen, ma.
Oh, okay. So maybe
It's on now.
I can see it now.
Okay. So let me go back again. So I said what I did here was I added M9 here to this 100, right? So that means that I got 2,132. If I drag it now, if I drag it downward, you notice the 100 was not added to 1,045. The 100 was not added to 1,061. So who can tell me why it was? Anybody can answer the question.
The setting is still happening.
I think it's because it was not locked. So I think you are going to need the dollar sign.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So what am I going to lock here now?
The 100.
Thank you. So what I was supposed to do here was I double clicked on the cell. Now what I was supposed to do here was I was supposed to put a dollar sign before the column and put a dollar sign before the row. So that will lock 100 for me. And I'll click on enter. So I can drag it down now and you can see it changed. You understand? So another thing you guys should know is when you are editing the formula for a cell, it's not compulsory you must double click it, because sometimes when you start working with some complex formulas, it will be very long. It's not compulsory you must double click and edit it in the cell. So while you have selected it, you can just click on it here. While you have selected it here, you can simply just go to the formula bar here. You see it there, and then edit what you want to edit while you have selected the cell. So let's say I want to take off the dollar sign now. And I've done it for the first one. You can see it there, right? So another way you can also do this is, instead of you stressing yourself to put dollar sign here, or to put dollar sign here and put dollar sign here, that is, while you have selected it, you can just simply go to that cell, click on the 09, and then click on F4. All right. So immediately you click on F4, it will lock it for you to put dollar sign for you. You can even see, if you look at the top of my, I don't know if it's yours, the same yours, you can see it has even shown me. It has shown me the definition of what that formula is, that reference is. You saw 100 just now, right? You select it again. So you can see immediately I highlighted it. Can you see what came up? 100 here is showing. In case maybe I'm not seeing where that cell is. So assuming now maybe that place is hidden, right? Maybe I'm here now and I want you to use the cell. I want you to use it here now. Let me copy it, for example. And I'm not sure what is there. Let's say I want to put it here now. So let's say I want to say here now is equal to that particular formula. If I'm not sure of what that formula is, if you just go there, just highlight it. You can see immediately I highlighted the M9. Immediately I highlighted the M9. It showed me the value of that cell M9 small. I don't know if you guys can see it. Same way with this one here. So if maybe the cell is not within your reach, you can't see it because it's probably far at the top or at the bottom or to the right, whichever. You can just highlight it and it will tell you what is there. I don't know if that is in the old versions of Excel. So that is what we did now. So by locking that cell, what is what I was doing? Okay, so here I'm working. So by locking that cell, that's by, okay, wasn't this one I used? It was the 100. Or was it this? Yeah, it was this one. So by locking that cell, also Friday, which was M9 plus 09. So by locking this, you can click on it and just select F4. And so by locking that cell, I ensured that I worked with my relative referencing for this Friday and absolute referencing for this 100, so that it will not change. You understand? When you guys are working with larger tables, you will see more reasons why you need to understand how to reference yourself properly, because it will really help you. Please, I think the attendance has been dropped already. The attendance, I think, has been dropped already, so I think you can actually fill your attendance now. You can fill your attendance. So now we're on to mixed referencing. So this one is a bit complex. You won't need it most of the time, but sometimes you need it. It depends on the kind of data set you are being given and what you want to get from the data set. So some can be very tricky. The numbers can just be in a way that you want that number, but you don't want to automate it. You don't want to have to copy the full row. You might decide what kind of referencing you want to do. So I'm going to create like a, let me say like a multiplication table now to show you mixed referencing. All right. So I'm going to have here, let's say 1, let's say 2, 3, let's say here is 4. So come here now, say 1, say 2, 3, and 4. All right. So for example, now we want to create like a multiplication table. We want this row, whatever is here now, we want the row to multiply the columns. You understand? So whatever is here should multiply what is here. So if I'm in this cell, Now, you can see this cell is an intercept of 2 and this 2. So if it does 2 times 2, it should give me 4. You understand? If I'm in this cell now is an intercept of 3 and 2. So if you multiply 3 times 2, it should give me 6. If I'm in this cell here, this cell is an intercept of 4 and 3. You understand? So when they are being multiplied, it should give me 12. You understand? So that is where mixed referencing will now come into play. You get? So for us to put this thing like this now, say, okay, since I want to multiply here by here now, I'll come here and do another one. So this is L23. So say L23 times K24. So mind you, L23 is here. There is 1 here. K24 is this 1 here. So I just put a multiplication sign between. You're supposed to put an equal to before. We'll reference it. So you see, once you put an equal to L23, it's picked here. K24, it picked here. My equal to now, and give me 1. Seemingly correct, right? So if I say I should drag it now, look at what it's giving me. So it's giving me, yeah, now it gave me 2, which is correct. So 1 times 2 will give me 2. All right, but here it's giving me 6. 1 times 3 is not 6. It's giving me 24 here. 1 times 4 is not 24. So it means what it did was, here was 1 times 2. It need to do 1 times 2 to give me this 2 here. All right, and they went to do 6 times 4 to give me 24, which is not what I want. I want it to multiply here by here. Meanwhile, let me paint this place so that the difference can be very clear, so you guys can see it very well. I think this will make it to make more sense. I'll make it bold. The only problem is I'm not seeing. Okay, there was something I didn't mention before. You can also, while we're doing this border, you can also change the color of the border. Like now, the border that is giving me now, you can see very well it's black, which is not very visible. So I can come here now. All right, I'll come here now to where I have borders, and I will go down. I've selected this whole cell here now, so I'll come here to where I have borders. Sorry. Oh, why isn't it picking it? So I'll go down here. All right, then I'll select line color. All right, and I want to pick white. So I can just come here now and just draw. So you guys will be able to see the difference very well. I'll just draw. So you can actually change the color of the borders if you want. Okay, I think that's all. All right, so that's it. Because I didn't reference it well now. I didn't reference the cell well. That is why it's giving me this kind of stuff. Let me add border line here so you see it very well. Let's hold on. I want to add a border here. All right, so let's just work with this one. All right. So I was saying it wasn't because I didn't reference it well. That is why I was having this issue. So I'm going to try now to reference it better so I don't have that issue again. So what I'm going to do here is now I'm going to start this way. All right, so equal to, all right, I want this one, whatever is here, whatever is in this column should be what will multiply whatever is in this row. You understand? The column can change downwards as it's going by the row, but as I'm moving right and left, it should not move with me. I will do this thing again so you guys just see what it gave me before. So assuming I did this before, all right? So I had one here. I'm moving right. If I move right like this, if I move down, this is what it's giving me, which is incorrect. It means this number is impossible. 4 times 3 can never give you this kind of number. So probably what it did here was 576 and 576 because it's working with relative referencing. But we want to work with mixed referencing now to give us what we want. We want to have control over the value that is being entered. All right, so what I'm going to do is now, I want to pick this cell, right? K24. So I'll put K24 here. All right. But what I want is I want the reference to remain on this column, this K column. I want the K column to be fixed, but I want it to be able to change. But I want it to change. That means if I move down, I want the row to change, but I don't want the column to change. Because I want to be able to multiply 1, I want to be able to multiply 2, 3, 4, which are different rows, but they're all in the same column. So I want the column to be fixed. So I'll come here now and I will put my $sign before the column. The column is K, right? But before the row, I will not put any $sign. I will leave it because I want the rows to change as it's going down. All right, so that is for the first side. Then I will now come in and put my multiplication sign. Then I'm going to select L23, right, which is this one at the top here. Right. Remember now, this L23 now, the multiplication now is going to change as it's going sideways. So as it's changing column, it will be changing. But I want this row to remain. I don't want the multiplication to be, I don't want the numbers to be multiplied by anything outside this row. It should only work with what is on this row. So that being said, I'm going to fix this row. And the row number here now is 23. So before the 23, I'm going to put a $sign there. So I put a $sign before the 23, but before the L, I didn't put a $sign. Because if I say I should put a $sign, I mean it will only work with 1. But I want to be changing color. I want to change from L to M to N to O. You understand? So after doing this now, it means in this side now, I have fixed this column because I have fixed the K column. But I want to be able to change to column to row 25, to row 26, to row 27. But it should stay on this column. That is why I fixed the column, but I allowed the row to be relative. So this one now is a combination of both absolute and relative referencing. You understand? So if I now enter it now, we now have 1. So I'm going to try dragging it down like this. So you can see now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So meaning 1 times 1, 1, 2 times 1, 2, 3 times 1, 3, 4 times 1, 4. All right. So if let me just highlight everything. If I drag it right now, you can see what it's giving me. So this now is correct, okay? Because if I want to confirm what is on this cell now, this one is the value here is 4, all right? And that 4 is what? 2 times 2, which is 4, all right? This cell now is 9. 9 is an intercept of what? N and row column N and row 26. And look at the value now. This is 3 times 3. All right, so it means I have referenced it very well. You understand? So this is what you'll be able to do if you can reference yourself. This is just practice. When you're working with a data set, you understand what I mean by referencing. Understanding cell referencing is very, very, very important. All right, so that is it for mixed referencing now. All right, so we're not going to go to the last. We're not going to go to the last type of referencing, which is absolute referencing. All right, so I'll leave this one here. This is L9 and M9, which is here and here. Okay, it's Thursday and Friday. So I will do the absolute referencing here, so you will see the difference. So what you do basically for absolute referencing is that instead of referring to a range of cells, but instead of calling here K9, instead of calling here J11 and the rest, instead of working with the cells, you work with the columns. That is what you do in structural referencing, sorry. So instead of working with the cells individually, you work with the column by calling the table. So that will now bring us to inserting table into your data set. All right. So the first thing you do when you want to use structural referencing is you have to insert your table into your data set. How do we do this? You just highlight the full table. I'm not highlighting James Supermarket too, because James Supermarket is just like the design here. My table, my main table.
To use what? Social referencing.
No, structural.
You say what?
Structural.
Okay, structural. All right, thank you.
This is the spelling. Can you see it? Is it clear? Abo, ask your question. Abo, ask your question. Okay, let me lower the hands then. All right, so what I will do now, since I want to insert a table into this data set. All right, so first thing I did was I highlighted the data set. So the first thing I did was I highlighted the data set. All right, then I will select Control T. Control T. You understand? So I'll hold Control and then click on T. You can see, maybe I did that. It brought this option for me. It brought this option for me, which is what create table option. You get. So what I will now do is you can now confirm to see if really you selected everything. Once you see that everything has been selected here, you can see this line that means you actually selected. I used the right selection, and to show you the range of cells, which is from H8, which is where items is, and M12, which is what you are seeing here, all fixed. You get. So it's asking me, does my table have headers? My table has headers because items Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are the headers on the table. So it should make those ones to be the headers for the table. And then I'll select OK. So immediately I did that, it turned this into a table. All right. It has turned this into the people might not really see it very well. I think I should copy. Let me copy the full table so you see the color change. The color change that is here. That's all done. Let me copy the full table. So you see the way the color, the whole color changed. Hold on. So I just did what I did just now. Repeat. All right. Okay, just hold. Okay. So this is it now. But this table now is like it now. Okay, so what I'm doing is I have copied this table now using cell referencing. All right, using my relative reference. I copy this table now using relative, but I don't want it. I don't want it. You can see as I'm clicking it. What is showing on the formula bar is the formula. So I don't want it to be a formula. So what I want to do is now I'm going to copy it. All right, which is Control C. Right, and I want to paste it now. But the pasting I'm going to do, remember I told you guys how to do space special. So you come here and then you click on space special while still in that spot. All right, I can just click on values like this and to work. Okay, and has pasted it for me. You can see now it's no longer showing formulas. So I'm going to do Control Z now to undo what I did. Okay, so I just clicked on undo. Well, I'm going to highlight it now. So instead of me going to Control C, I copied it. Instead of me going to paste special, I don't want to go to paste because it's a long journey for me. I'll just hold Control. I'll hold my Alt key, and then I'll click on V, and to bring this out for me. So that's the shortcut. Control Alt V, and I'll click on values and to change everything there for me to values. You can see now it's no longer showing me as equal to whatever. So I want to insert a table now into this. I'll just select everything here, and I'll click on Control T. Immediately I click on Control T to enter this table for me, create table, and I'll select OK. So you can see what happened. It wasn't showing here because there was already this one was already painted. But you can see what happened. It started a table for me. All right. If I don't want to do it this way, I can also select it like this, and then I'll go to my Insert tab here, and I'll click table, and the same thing will happen. Will come out here for me. This dialog box, and I'll select OK. So whichever is suitable for me, for you. I normally use the shortcut. The shortcut is faster for me to go and look for it there. I just use Control T and to bring it up for me. So this is the difference now between structural referencing and relative referencing. They're almost the same, but they are not the same. So for example, now structural referencing, here now when I did relative referencing here to add these two, the sales for these 2 days, right? I used L9 and M9. Okay, but for structural referencing, I won't use that format. The first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to name this table so I can easily refer to it. Once I name this table, so that anytime I want to make use of any data from this table, I will just call the name. All right. So name the table, just come in and select it. Immediately I select it, you can see something appear there, table design. I'm going to select out now. So I need you to watch 2 places. Let me zoom it for you. I need to watch 2 places. I need to watch my table and then watch the tabs here now, right? So I'm going to select out. So I see out now, nothing is here. The last thing here is Power Pivot. If I come to my table and I select the table, you see table design will appear. The minute table design appears, I'll click on table design. So you can come in and you can see table name. It named it as table 3. But I don't want to be called table 3. I want to be called Jane. So I gave it the name Jane, and I'll just click enter. Now leave it. So anytime I want to use something from this table, I will call the thing Jane as the table name. But I will now, when I call Jane, it will now show me all the columns that are in Jane, and then I can now make use of what I want there. So for example, now I'm going to zoom out, right? So for example, now I want to do what I did here, which was here was LM and L9 and M9, but here now it's supposed to be L17 and M17, right? So what I'm going to do here now, instead of doing that, I'll just come here and I'll select equal to Jane. The minute I wrote Jane, you can see Jane popped out here for me. So I'll just select Jane. All right. So as I selected Jane, I selected the whole table for me. I will now put my square bracket. So after putting my square bracket, you can see what I has brought out from it. It has brought out all the columns that are in the table. All right. So I will now come here. I will now select Thursday. Then I will now close my square bracket. That is Thursday, right? Plus, I'm going to look for Jane again. I'll just click on Jane. All right. And then I will select it. Jane, Abby. I'll select it. Then I will now put my square bracket. I put my square bracket. That's brought out all the columns for me again. Then I will now select Friday. All right. So it has selected everything here, the whole Thursday and the whole Friday for me. Now just click on enter. Then you can see immediately populated this place for me. What is here now is the same as here, but I didn't have to come and be looking for it here. That is different between structural referencing and relative referencing. So let's say we create another sheet now. Let's say we want to use sheet 2 now. But we'll do relative referencing here now. I'll have to equal to, I'm not going to look for LM. In fact, I have to reference this sheet. Let me just say, if I was doing relative referencing now, I'll say, okay, here is equal to, I will now come here to sheet 1. I will now select Thursday, right? I'll now put my plus. Look at the formula bar. Then I'll now select I'll now select. Look at the formula bar. Take note of the formula bar. You can see it's showing sheet 1. Sheet 1 L9 plus sheet 1 M9. Then I'll click my enter. So it will give me 3,504. And I'll do that here. But I may really not want to go to that sheet. Why do I have to go to the sheet? I'm going to look for it again. I just come here now. Anywhere I am in the sheet, even if it's far, even if it's sheet 10, sheet 20, let's click on equal to. Let's put Jane. When I put Jane, I put my square bracket. I'll select Thursday. Alright. Then I'll put plus. Alright. Then I'll select Thursday, Jane again. And I'll put my square bracket. And I'll select Friday. And I'll select enter. So this one now will automatically sum Thursday and Friday for me without me even using my two eyes to see. Alright, so that is the bigger difference between a table and a range of cells. What you have here, this data set here, that we designed here, is a range of cells in a cell. Because you cannot refer to it as a table, you cannot call it as a table, except I don't say it as a table. So this is a range of cells. While this one here is a table. As when I click on this one now, you see nothing like table design here, because it's just a range of cells. If I come in and I click anywhere here, you see table design because I recognize this one as a table. That is structural referencing. So now we're done with the 4 types of referencing. Now. The last thing we'll be working on now is, do you have any questions? Sheet protection. Ask a question now. We have just 10 minutes, I believe.
Ma, please, I didn't really get how you named the table. Jane.
Okay. Do what I did. Just click on the table. Anywhere in the table. Then you will see what appeared here. Table design. You will now click on table design. Then you will go to the side, to the left. You can see table. You will now name it there. You understand? Is that one clear?
Yes, thank you very much, Ma.
So we're going to do sheet protection now. Right. So let's say you want to send to somebody. Please let me mute everybody. You want to send this not this sheet, this workbook rather, to somebody, and you want them to only be able to see what you have there. You don't want them to be able to type anything. So what you will do is you just go here to you go here to format where you have cells here, this cells group. You go here to format and then you select it to bring down, and I will bring a drop down for you. You will now come here. By default, all the cells in Excel are locked. They are locked, but they're not protected. This is the difference. If you have a gate now, you put a padlock on the gate. The gate is locked, right? But it is not protected, meaning you have not pinned the gate. So that's how it is. So on all the cells here in Excel, by default, there's a lock on it. That's why you can see this lock here. There's a lock on it, but they have not been protected. So let's say we want somebody to be able to view this sheet, but we don't want the person to be able to edit it or do anything there. I'll just come in and to format here. I'll go to protect sheet. I'll click on protect sheet. All right. Then I'll put a password here. Can be anything, but you must remember it. If you forget it, you have lost access to that sheet. And I'll select OK. You ask me to enter the password again, and I'll enter it again. And I'll select OK. So right now, if I come and do anything on this sheet, it will not work. Can you see? The cell or chart you are trying to change is on the protected sheet. To make a change on protected sheet, you may be requested to enter a password. Can you see? So I'm trying to do something that is not working. Nothing will work again on this particular sheet, but I can work on other sheet too. I can do something here. I can edit here, but on this sheet 1 now, I can't edit. I can't do anything unless I go back to this place here where I have format. Click on. You can see everything self went blur. There's no color again. Until I come here now, I'll go to that format back. And I'll click on protect sheet. It's going to ask me for a password. So I'll put a password in it. And I'll click on OK. So now I can edit back. All right. So I locked the sheet before. Now I can edit back. So what if you wanted the person to be able to edit this table? All right. There is this table here now. This whole table. But you don't want to be able to touch any other place in the sheet. Okay. So what do? You will highlight that whole place. I think that by default, there's a padlock, there's a lock on all the cells. So you will highlight this whole place now, which is that those range of cells. That is this table. I highlighted the table. And then I went to format like this. And I'll click on format. Then you can see where you have lock cell. You click on lock. You can see this padlock that is here. This padlock has something around it. That means that lock, there's a lock on that cell. So if I select it now, I have removed the lock on the cell. So I go back now and click on it now. If I select anywhere or around that this table now that I unlocked, if I select it now, if I go back to that format, you can see that square that was around is no longer there again. That border that was around the padlock is no longer there again. If I come here and I select out of that table, that border is there because all these ones have lock on them. Yes, they are locked, but they are not protected. So in order for me to protect this sheet now, I have to put a password. I've removed the lock from this particular table. All right, so if I go to that format now, and I now go and click on protect sheet, all right, and I put a password. Enter OK. So I come here now. It asks me to re-enter the password. I enter the same password. And then I've locked it now. So if I come and click anywhere outside now, it's going to tell me, you can see, the cell or chart you are trying to change is unprotected. It's not going to work. I can't even do anything here. I can't even edit anything. But if I come to this my table that I removed the padlock from, and I click on it, you can see it's allowing me to change. Can you see? It's allowing me to change. I can actually make changes here. I can make changes here. But every other place, I cannot make change because I opened this particular table. You understand? But I can still go and create another worksheet if I want to. I can create another worksheet. But you see this particular sheet, I have protected it. So nobody can do anything on this sheet unless the person wants to edit something on this table. You can see. So I'm going to unprotect the sheet back so I can have access to the whole sheet. All right. So we're done with protecting sheet now. So what if we want to protect the whole workbook? If you understand the difference between sheet and workbook, like I said, that's why I said it's very important to understand those terminologies. That's why I took my time to explain them in the last class. Understand what is a sheet and what is a workbook. So sheet 1 is a sheet. This sheet 3 is a sheet. Sheet 2 is a sheet. But everything joined together, combined together, is a workbook. So what if I want to lock the entire workbook? All right. So what I will do is I will go to this tab here, review. All right. So I'll click on review. And review here, you can see what you have. You can see protect workbook. That is protect workbook. Now I want to lock the entire workbook. I'll click on protect workbook. All right, so it's asking me for a password. I'll put any password I want. Asking me to re-enter the password. I'll put any password I want again. I'll say okay. So I've entered the password. All right. So now I have protected the entire workbook. Somebody cannot come and you can see this plus that is here now. You can see this plus that is here. Person cannot create a new worksheet. You understand? The person cannot create a new worksheet again, but the person can still access the old worksheets I have. So once I've logged the workbook now, the person cannot create a worksheet again, but the person can access the ones I have before. So if I want to lock the worksheets, I can lock them individually. You understand? So it's also possible too, you can decide you want to lock a worksheet, but before I want to lock the whole worksheet, but before the person can access here, the person needs to put a password. Remember what we did before was we locked the worksheet, but we unlocked this table. All right. So I can come here and I want to remove now. I want to put that padlock back that was on this thing so I can lock this. So I can lock the cell back. Okay, so everywhere now has a padlock. Everywhere here now has a padlock. Okay, but maybe I want to do it in a way that if the person wants to edit this place, all right, the person should ask me for. The person should put in a password. So this place will be unlocked, but we require a password. You understand? So to do that now, I'll go to that review. All right. Then you can see this place where it said allow edit range, and I'll click on edit range. So it's asking me for new ranges unlocked by a password when sheet is protected. So I'll click on new. All right. So it's asking me for, this is range 1. So this is the range of cell now. This is the title of the range I'm creating. This is the range of cells now. So I'm going to delete it. Let me just go here. I'll click on here, then I'll come here now with my arrow. I'm going to select everything down here. Then I'll click enter. Then I'll come here to the range password and I'll enter the password, any password I want, and I'll select OK. So it's asking me to re-enter password again. I've entered the password now and I've saved it. So I'll now come here and I'll click apply. So it has applied it now. So I've put password here now. So even if I protect the whole sheet, this place is passworded. You get, so I put a password here. So if I go back now and I want to protect the sheet again, let's say I just come in. That protect sheet, you can decide to do it from the home tab here, which is you just come to format and you protect sheet here, or you come to review and then you come here and you protect sheet. It's the same thing. So let's say I enter a password here now. All right, and I enter a password here now. Banks do this a lot. Banks do this a lot when they are sending the monthly statement to you. So they will tell you to enter your password, and sometimes they will say your password is the last 4 digits of your account number. You understand? So, for example, now I want to edit this thing now. You can see now. If I come and click on anywhere outside the cell, it's telling me this sheet is passworded. That is, this sheet is protected, rather. Sorry, this sheet is protected. I cannot do anything. I can't edit anything. But if I come to this table here, this range here that I put a password, if I select it, you can see it's asking me unlock range. So for me to work to edit this thing here now, so I can, it's like I can send this sheet now to a department, and I will give the password to this range of cells to only the head of the department. So the other members of the department will see the numbers, but they cannot do anything with it. It is only if they now have a complaint, they will now go and meet their head. It's the head that will now put in the password and then make changes that need to be made there. So after clicking on it now, it has asked me, said a cell you are trying to change is password protected. Enter the password to change the cell. So I will now enter the password I put in the beginning. And I'll select OK. And you can see now, I can edit it. You see, so that is it. So that is the end of today's class. Thank you for joining. Do you have any questions?
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome. Yeah.
So I want to ask, the last thing you just explained, is it how to lock the cell, like the cell, without affecting the sheet, right?
I explained not lock the cell, how to protect the sheet.
How to protect I'm talking of the table now. The one that is requesting for password.
Okay, the
or
one
is it possible to lock the table without locking the sheets, like the surroundings?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's possible to do that, but most of the time, it's like you want to, how would I put it? You want to lock, or you want the person to have access to the surrounding. I think to an extent that one would be unnecessary. I don't know if you get.
Okay, it's just the same thing as passwording the table, like the one you just did now.
But you must protect for that password to be able to work. You must protect the sheet.
Protect the sheet, the
So
table.
Yes, even if the password on it and you don't protect the sheet, it won't ask you for a password.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
but
So
thank you so much. I don't know whether we can have this recording this night so that we can still get back to it.
okay. I don't know about tonight. Now I told you to take time. Let me. It will take time. It will take time to just